Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a conversation about the mundane. One thing that we can promise is our conversation will be less than fascinating, so you can feel free to drift off. Thank you for joining us. We hope you will listen and sleep, as well as follow us on Twitter at Listen and Sleep. We're recording this episode from Woodland Beach in the township of Tiny. We've mentioned this area on the podcast before. It's where I have my cottage, so we are recording outside. You might hear the sounds of nature or the odd lawnmower motor, or you might hear that motorcycle in the background right now as it zips up the windy roads that make up the township of Tiny. Joining me today, I have the great pleasure of having my brother-in-law, Jim Cooper, joining us. Welcome, Jim, to the Insomnia Project.
Thank you, Marco. It's great to be here.
Jim, I know that you're a great chess player. I wanted to ask you, how did you get into chess?
I wouldn't say I'm a great chess player, but I'm an enthusiast anyways. I like it. I've always liked chess. And I think the first time I really started, when I was younger, my sister Cheryl had a chess set, and she knew the rules, so she was able to show me how to play doing the basics, so how to move the pieces and how to set it up and most of the basic rules. And I would play once in a while with her and with some other people who are interested.
Okay.
But it's difficult to find people who are interested in playing chess. So, because it takes time to play. So when I was younger, I played a little bit, but then later on, I met a friend, and he was quite good. He was quite good at playing chess. He still is quite good at playing chess, and he saw that I was interested, and so he showed me a little bit more. He showed me how to approach the game, not just how to move the pieces, but why you might move the piece to a particular part of the board, how to develop your pieces.
So when you say approach the game, what does that mean? Like, is it sort of a sort of strategy prior to playing?
Exactly, yeah. You have to think about what kind of game you want to play. Do you want to play off in the center? Do you want to attack? Or do you want to be more passive and let your opponent make mistakes? Wait for your opponent to make a mistake. But he also showed me how to better make use of the pieces.
Okay.
So, for instance, a knight doesn't move very fast, and it doesn't affect that many squares at once. It only can affect a limited number of squares. So it likes to be around in the middle
of the board?
I didn't know that. Because
it
hits more squares. It's able to control more squares.
Okay.
But a bishop is able to go the whole diagonal, whatever diagonal it's on.
Right.
If there are no pieces, it can control a whole diagonal. So it's almost like an archer that can sit up in a tree. If you want to think of it in those terms,
sure. An
archer that sits up in a tree and has a good vantage point, almost like a sniper.
I see.
Or something like that. But anyways, maybe the bishop is able to look along a long line, and he also showed me how to use the pieces together, how to coordinate the effort and make stronger use of the pieces by having them working together, of course, rather than just like hoping that one piece will wipe out another piece of your opponent. You find a way to, because it's a team or an army or a team. Of course, those pieces have to work together in order for you to capture the king. So he showed me a number of basic principles of how to approach the game, so that I could have an interesting game, basically.
Right.
So I'm sort of like, I would say I'm a little bit better than somewhere between novice and intermediate.
Okay.
Intermediate talent there, and he's a little bit better than that.
Amazing. And you've competed in chess competitions, correct?
Yeah. I've entered tournaments, chess tournaments. Yeah.
Sorry, I should say tournaments. And what's that like? Describe sort of the feeling when you get there. And do you bring your own chess board?
Oh, it's. I like it.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I think because I'm kind of a slow person in a lot of ways.
Okay.
And so the slowness of the game is attractive to me.
All right.
And the idea of just sitting down and taking time with your pieces is something I look forward to. And it's nice to see everybody else doing the same sort of thing, you know.
Sure.
It's almost like a room of it's a kind of meditation in a way.
Focused meditation.
Exactly. Yeah, I would say. So so I don't need to bring my own board though.
Okay.
Usually
Because I was thinking of, like, you know, when you see people play snooker and they bring their own cue and
Right.
they'll have it in a little case and they'll open it up and they'll prepare it.
Right.
I bet you're a great snooker player, Jim. Having never played with you, but I just, based on what you've just said, a strategy and finding a sort of Zen experience.
I might be able to do all right with it.
I bet you are. I can see that glimmer in your eye. But back, you might be hearing someone chopping a tree in the background along with these birds on this podcast. So don't be alarmed if you hear, you know, the axe hitting a tree or someone yelling timber here in the forest. So tiny. But so you find it very zen when you go to the competition, and do you size up your opponents, or do you just kind of calmly sit down and make your strategy and let the pieces fall as they may?
I just show up and I sit down and I play. You
Mhm.
know, I'm the kind of player that I'm just there for the experience, really.
Okay.
Some players show up and they have reasonable expectation to possibly win.
Right. Okay.
I win some games and I lose some games, and because I'm still kind of a bit of like a, you know, I make mistakes
Sure.
quite easily.
Sure.
So
But you
it's-
learn from those mistakes, right?
Try to, yeah.
Mhm.
Which is also a wonderful thing about chess tournament.
Mhm.
Often, when you're finished your match, your opponent you can take the board out and you can go over the game with your opponent to see what was happening.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. We'll talk about the match afterwards. So that's a really helpful thing. It's almost like a chess tutorial, you know, because typically I play stronger players than myself.
Sure.
And so when those guys want to take the time to go over what happened in the match, it's really helpful.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so it seems so collaborative, so lovely that they would take the time to do that, sort of better their opponent for future games.
Yeah, it can be that way.
Okay.
Yeah, some players are very, very generous with their time and with their skills, so it's nice.
And during a tournament, there's a sort of scoring system you were explaining to me before.
Right.
How exactly does that work, and where are you on that scoring table?
So, chess players have a rating.
A rating.
Yeah, and it is a way of scoring your level of play, and it's a formula.
Oh, I see.
And I don't know what the formula
Okay,
is
fair enough.
exactly, but basically, the higher your rating, if you have a high rating, that indicates your skill level.
Sure.
If a higher rated player plays a much lower rated player, if the higher rated player wins, they don't increase their rating points very much
Oh, okay.
if they're playing a weaker player. So
Right.
someone that's rated at 1800 beats someone like me that's rated at 1400. That's
Okay.
about where I am in
Right.
Canada. Canada has its own rating.
Oh, it does?
As well, yeah. It's I don't know if the formula is different or
Okay.
but I guess ratings in Canada tend to be a little bit higher than international ratings.
Okay.
I think I might be off on that, but anyways,
It's all good.
Yeah, that's
It's kind of like explaining the CFL and the NFL.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's apt.
I should mention that's the Canadian Football League and the National Football League for our listeners from overseas who might not quite grab that.
Right,
But
right.
so okay,
So if a player is about even, like 15 to 1500 plays a 1450 player, say, that still that higher ranked player doesn't increase that much, but still would get more rating points.
I see.
However, if a lower rated player beats a higher rated player, they gain quite a few points.
Really?
Yeah. So they might go up. If I at 1400, if I beat a 1600 level player, my rating points might go up maybe 20 points.
Okay.
10 to 20 points, I think. It's been a while since I've actually noted that, but yeah, it's it is helpful because with just maybe a couple games, it doesn't really mean very much. But over a few years of doing this, the rating points really do indicate how consistent a player you are.
And would you be matched up at a tournament with someone at your sort of rating level, or would you just be matched up with whomever and you just have to sort of go with it?
Often at tournaments, you'll have two tiers of play.
I see.
So they'll cut it. Sometimes they'll cut it off at 1700 and under,
Okay.
and so you can play in the 1700 and under, or you can play in the full-on tournament where the highest rated players might be. And where I play, there would never be a master there.
Okay.
But might be an international master, or there might be there might be. I played in a tournament where there was an instructor, someone who is strong enough to qualify as a certified chess instructor.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Well, I guess you reach a certain level of your rating level reaches a certain point, and I'm not sure what else is involved, but the guy I knew this fellow when I was working in Lunenburg.
Okay.
Who worked
That's in Nova Scotia, folks.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it for our international.
Yeah, of course.
And if you haven't been to Lunenburg, it's such a gorgeous seaside town.
It's beautiful there. It's beautiful.
It's
there.
picturesque. It's really, when you're there, you're like, this place is so gorgeous and beautiful. It's hard to believe. And all the little towns that sort of take you in and around Lunenburg are so gorgeous.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a class, like a typical East Coast Canada fishing village.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very calm, and they have wonderful. Anyways,
and the people are so lovely. You're saying, and they have what?
And they have there's lots of sailing there and fishing, of course, and they have music festivals and a number of art related festivals there. So so it's a wonderful place.
Definitely check out Lunenburg.
Yeah,
we'll put a little photo up on our Twitter feed so you can see exactly what we're talking about.
And while I was working there, I used to go to a local chess club.
Oh, really?
I worked there in Lunenburg for about 5 years.
Well, what did you do there?
Oh, there was a yogurt company there.
Oh.
Called Peninsula Farm. And I went there to do some computer work for them.
Okay.
And I ended up staying. I started there as on contract, but then I ended up staying longer because I like working there, of course. And I ended up doing computer work and also preparing yogurt.
Oh.
So, anyways, it was a small company.
Well,
but
we'll have to get some secrets of yogurt on a future podcast with you, Jim, because that'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
But sorry, back to.
So while I was working there, I would go to a chess club on Tuesday nights, and this fellow that was working at a local fish plant was there, and this is the instructor.
Oh, I see.
And so he also helped me quite a bit when I would show up, at the club. Very nice man. Steve Saunders is his name.
Well, there you go.
And
shout out to Steve.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of running now. But anyways, he would also show me some stuff with how I can improve my game. He gave me some suggestions. But I would play in some tournaments with him, and he helped to organize a number of tournaments around Nova Scotia as well. So yeah.
The longer you stay alive, the longer you can enjoy Boost Mobile's unlimited plan with a price that never goes up. So here are some tips. Do not parallel park on a cliff if you want to enjoy an unlimited plan with a price that never goes up. Do not mistake a wasp nest for a piñata if you want to enjoy an unlimited plan with a price that never goes up. Do not microwave a hard-boiled egg if you want to enjoy an unlimited plan with the price that never goes up. Stay alive and enjoy unlimited wireless for $25 a month forever with Boost Mobile. After 30 gigs, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Knock, knock.
Ooh, who's there?
A Boost Mobile expert, here to deliver and set up your all-new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever.
You call that a knock-knock joke?
This isn't a joke. Boost Mobile really sends experts to deliver and set up your phone at home or work.
Okay, well, it's just that when people say knock-knock, there's usually a joke to go with it.
Like I said, this isn't a joke.
So the knock-knock was just you knocking?
Yeah, that's how doors work.
Get the new iPhone 17 Pro delivered and set up by an expert wherever you are. Delivery available for select devices purchased at boostmobile.com. Terms apply.
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
Now tell me, Jim, what is your secret or your strategy? Are you able to reveal that on this podcast, or will it hinder you in future tournaments? Is there some move, or like, what's your favorite move or your favorite piece to use? How about we start there before I get all your secrets out?
Well, the only thing that might be typical of my play is the I think it's the light squared bishop. I like to move it up in a position, and it's called the Italian bishop, actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
And I didn't know. I just because when you move that bishop out early, it's a good spot for that bishop because it points right at the king. So you start up early, and you're showing that you're going to have an attack. Like when I'm white, I like to have an Italian bishop so that I can have a sharp attack on the king. So
and who begins the game? Is it the white pieces or the black pieces?
The white.
The white begins the game. So that's why you like to start if you're playing white with this sort of attack.
Yeah.
Attack.
That's right. I think my opening. I forget what my opening is called now.
So various moves are called something as well. Like you've got a sort of series of moves that have a name. Is that correct?
Right. That's right. You have openings.
Wow.
So you have the Rui Lopez is one opening, and the gambits, the King's Gambit, the Queen's Gambit.
Wow.
The British. Oh no, not the British. The English Open. And when you're playing black, there are different defenses you can try.
I see.
So there's like the French defense. Some of the names are escaping me.
Sure,
right
fair
now,
enough.
But yeah, you can have different defenses, different style of play, and certain defenses work better against certain openings.
Are you familiar with the Timpano defense?
No, I'm not.
That's where midway through the game, the board gets thrown in the air and the pieces just dance around. It's a signature move that I like to...
That's the Timpano.
That's the Timpano defense, just to throw the board in the air. Oh my goodness. So, Jim, how has chess played into your life? Has it have found roads into your life, into sort of dealing with anything, or does it intersect with any sort of daily activity? It might not. I'm just curious because a lot of these sort of old, I don't want to say hobbies, but these sort of ancient games and ancient sort of traditions, whatever, can really help in daily life or bring something to your sort of perspective.
Sure. If you play a lot of long games, like tournament-style games, I think that it can start affecting, how you treat other aspects of your life.
Sure.
In terms of like how considered the next thing that you do is going to be.
Right.
Because when you're playing chess, you sit down at the board, you have time to make your moves, and in all that time, you just sit there and think, what are the different lines that will work? What do you think is... And different lines of play, different moves that you might make will result in a different board, and you have to decide if you like how that's going to work or if you want to go in another way. And some players might work better in one way, and other players might work better if it were a different move, And that doesn't mean that one is necessary. Sometimes there's an obvious mistake because you lose a piece or something like that.
Sure.
I'm not talking about that kind of thing. I'm just saying there might be two paths that you could go down, and both of them might be equally good, but depending on your style of play, one might be better for yourself.
Right.
So,
I mentioned that because, for example, when I was doing yoga, the practice of yoga can also be meditative, or it just brings a different perspective to your being, at least while you're in the studio. But it's nice to approach problems from a more inner, peaceful, calm sort of manner, because you see different perspectives. So I was wondering if chess brings that out, or can bring that out in a person.
I think it can. I think it can really help you just sort of, instead of losing, especially if it's a difficult situation, it can help you just take a moment and take stock of what's going on around you and see what's a reasonable way of dealing with the situation without losing your head,
How disposable are pawns? Should they be treated as such, or should they be treated as, important pieces within the game?
Oh, pawns are very important pieces.
Okay.
You need to use the pawns wisely.
I see.
You have to, a good deal of the game, I approach pawn structure. Pawn structure is something that is a good thing to focus on when you're learning how to play the game.
So tell me more about pawn structure.
So the pawn structure is it's almost like the framework or the backbone of the game. It's how the piece. For me, I think of it as something that the pieces move around. So it's something that it's possible to have a good, strong foundation for your game. And pawns, I'm trying to think of...
I always see them as just little pieces, and once they're gone, that's when the game begins. So clearly I've been playing a chess that would not be appreciated by the masters, to say the least.
As you advance your pawns, you almost lay claim on territory on the board.
Okay.
And so you can advance your pawns, and also making use of your pieces to control territory as well.
Sure.
If you're down a pawn, if your opponent has one more pawn than you, and that's the only difference in terms of your
status in the game, or the moments in the game.
Yeah, that's the only deficiency. You both have the same number of pieces. You're just down one pawn. Depending on the level of play, that can be almost game over.
Really?
Like in a master's level, losing a pawn, being down a pawn, it's almost, that's when you're down, you start thinking of how you can draw the game rather than win the game.
Oh.
So it's very important, and of course, the stronger you are, those smaller differences become exaggerated. The lower level play, there's lots of fluctuation.
Sure.
So you try to, you try to keep those pawns. Eventually, if everything is equal and you have a pawn, and you'll try to advance that pawn to your opponent's back rank. So
meaning the back line? Is that what it is?
That's right. That back line where your opponent's king and queen start off.
Okay.
You advance your pawn to that rank, and you can promote it to another piece.
Meaning?
And so, meaning your pawn becomes a queen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
So you could have 2 queens on the game if you get your pawn. I had no idea. Clearly, I've been playing chess incorrectly. I've already learned so much just talking to you.
If you have 8 pawns, you can possibly have 9 queens on the board.
Really?
Yeah, every pawn can be promoted to a queen if you have them all and you do it all.
Speaking of the queen, though, the queen only does a small little move. Like she can only move one square, correct?
No, that's the king.
Oh, that's the king. Okay.
One square at a time.
The queen can do anything,
The
right?
queen can move. The queen is only limited by pieces that are blocking her movement.
You can see how well I play chess when I say that the queen. What's interesting is that Jim was helping me bring something up to the attic of the cottage, and he's like, "Oh, look, there's a chessboard there, completely covered in dust, in the back corner, not near any of the other games we play at the cottage." So, Jim, you and I are gonna have to just blow the dust off that, and you're just gonna have to give me a sort of lesson in chess, because clearly I don't know where I speak from.
We can have some fun.
Amazing. So, can you have more than one king then? Or is it just one king per? Like if I bring my pawns to the back line, you said they can be any piece?
That's the only piece it can't be promoted to as a king. You can only have one king. But you can promote that piece to a rook, which is the one that looks like a castle.
Right.
Or a knight, which is the one that looks like a horse.
That
really
moves in kind of an L shape, if I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
And that's the only move that the queen can't do.
Oh, is the horse's move,
that's
or
right.
the knight's move,
Yeah,
right?
that's right. The knight has the ability to jump over pieces.
See.
That's the unique ability that it has. All the rest of the pieces can't. If a piece is in the way, you can't jump over it. You have to find another way.
And you were mentioning draws. So, are draws looked down upon in a tournament, or can they help the novice player?
Oh yeah. Because in a tournament, especially if you draw a stronger player than yourself, that's quite an accomplishment. You know, if I were playing it, someone who is at an 1800 level player, being a 1400 level player myself, a draw against that player would be a really solid game for me.
Oh, wow.
And it would give me half a point.
Oh, it gives you a point. Does it demote the stronger player? Or?
Yeah, as far as the rating. So there are 2 things at play in a tournament. The
Right.
points to win the tournament, but also your own rating points. So the rating points would be the broader, part of your chess life, and the points would be specific to the tournament. So
Wow.
Yeah. So points are just wins, losses, and draws. So if I had 2.5 points, that probably means I had 2 wins and 1 draw, and that's probably not enough to place. You need to have a pretty strong. Most players do quite well. They get 5 wins or 4 wins, and that gets them first or second place.
Wow. And these tournaments last days, correct? Or is it a weekend, or?
Typically it's a weekend for me. I would never be able to do any other kind of tournament.
I see.
And I haven't done one for ages because it does take all your time. It's like a complete weekend where you would play possibly Friday night game, 3 games on Saturday, and 3 games on Sunday. So you could possibly have I've played in tournaments where there were seven games.
Oh, wow.
7 game turn, and each game.
Yeah, how long
lasts.
can they last? Like, is there a time limit, or is it like, no, this is a tournament, you go until you go?
No, time is definitely part of the game, and so you have a certain amount of time to make all your moves, and you have 2.5 hours per side.
Wow.
That's like, there are different time controls in different tournaments, but typically the ones that I've played in, each side gets 2.5 hours. So that's possibility of 5 hours. And the way it works is you would have 1 hour to make your first 10 moves. And then, and if you can't make your first 10 moves in 1 hour, you can lose on time there as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've never seen that happen, but
fair.
It's possible. It's a
Right.
possibility. And then after those first 10 moves, you have the rest of the time So if you make your first 10 moves fairly quickly, you can bank that time and use that for the remainder of the game.
I see.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, I want to thank you for all this sort of, discussion on chess. And I invite you the next time you're in town that you and I will open up a chessboard, sit, and we'll play. And as we play, we'll record a podcast so people can hear you sort of being my instructor and helping me learn the art of chess.
That's a great idea.
Amazing.
I'd love to do that.
Thank you, Jim, once again for being part of the Insomnia Project. As always, we are produced by Drumcast Productions, and this episode was recorded in Tiny Township on Woodland Beach.